very beginners. We are slowly but surely working up and just getting our bodies moving, connecting our brains to our bodies so we have a better day. And it's the very first step on our journey to get a little more fit and a little more bendy. So happy to see you here. And so I just have one question before we start. Are you guys okay if we start a little bit earlier, because we're starting to do more and more, both in this and the intermediate one, which is right after, so we'll need a little more time. So if we moved it up a little bit, how would you guys feel about that? Because I'm afraid of moving it the other direction. A lot of people have to get to work, so we don't want them to miss out on it, although you can always go back to the lives, especially starting out, and the first ones are lighter than these, but so let me know how you feel about that. Please like and subscribe, and then take your nice sturdy stance. Your legs are like pillars planted into the earth, and they're so heavy that nothing could budge them, not 1,000 years of the weather rushing over them. They are so firm that nothing can knock them over. Thinking about that, keeping your lower half very, very heavy and firm. And we're just going to start by breathing in through our noses and out through our mouths. And think about bringing that fresh air in, oxygen to your body, and blowing out all the negative stuff, all the stuff from yesterday that doesn't matter today. Let that out, breathing in and out through your mouth, and breathing in through your nose. And out through your mouth. And breathing in and breathing out. It's just to get some oxygen flowing. And this time, when you're breathing in, I want you to bring your arms to the side. And that's as ever high as your personal arms go. And exhale. And we're just moving our arms up and down. And these are nice smooth movements. This is for your fascia, which is that organ just under the skin. It looks a little bit like chicken skin, and that contains a lot of our movement. And then we're going to go to the front. And the fascia is like nice, smooth, continuous movements. I sometimes change to a side view so you can see what I'm doing, but you can just stay where you are. In between your legs need a little shake out. You can shake your legs out a little. Or just move your arms up and down, getting it moving. And now we're going to go to the side and to the front. So we're going to be alternating to the side and to the front. And this time, we're going to bend our knees as our arms comes down. And when we lift our arms up again, our knees are going to just straighten a little bit. So these are just very, very gentle knee bends. And we're going to go front again. And we're sinking up and down. It's very smoothly. These are gentle knee bends. None of this should be a strain. We are just warming up and getting ready for the day. And this is progressive, so little by little, we are making tiny moves to increase, to do a little bit more. And coming up to the middle, and you take a little bend to this side, but this is just a teeny tiny bit. You can keep your arms here too. I want you to think about still keeping the lower half of your body planted into the ground. This is just your upper half that's giving a little bend and coming back to the middle. And you can grab your hands if you want to, but if not, you can also keep them to the side. Just give a little bend to each side, like a tree swaying. So the trunk is staying where it is, and the upper half, the leafy half, that's a lot lighter, is just going from side to side. And then we're going to take our bodies a little bit forward and up. Now this movement is just coming from just your waist up. So this is your future crunch, but you're just going up and down and trying to keep the lower half firm. So you're not bending your whole body. You're just crunching here in your middle. And coming back up. And shoulders to your ears. And shoulders down. Shoulders to your ears. And shoulders down. Shoulders to your ears. And shoulders down. And to your ears. And down. And let's start backwards today. I'm just going to give a little roll. Trying to feel where your shoulder blades are. Even if your shoulder blades don't really move that much, I want you to just feel their location on your body. Try and connect your mind to them. We're just going to give a little roll forward. And the reason we start backwards was because when we roll back, I want you to raise your chest up just a little to a nice straight posture. And as you're going about your day, wherever you are, every time you think about it, I want you to think, roll your shoulders back and give yourself a nice straight posture, as straight as you can go. Because we want to train our bodies very slowly to have that muscle memory, to keep our posture in place. Because this is something that if we forget about it, our bodies will naturally start to go forward and our shoulders will want to try and meet in the middle. So to kind of combat against that, we're doing our shoulder rolls to the back. All right, so taking our heads, and again, this is just our heads. It's not our whole necks, it's just a little chin bobble. If you have any neck problems at all, please do skip this part. We're just gonna nod up and down. If we're saying, or like bobblehead. This is very gentle movement. All of these are very gentle movements. We are not straining for these because this is a get ready for your day routine in which we just want to connect our minds and bodies and make sure that our bodies are ready for whatever they face today. So this time I want you to let your chin hang just a little bit longer. And come up. And this time we roll it down. And then we're going to roll our left ear to our left shoulder just a little bit. And then it's going to roll back to the middle. So your chin's hanging down. And now we're going to roll our right ear to our right shoulder. And back to the middle. Again, this is not your neck moving. This is just your head moving. Like a flower on a stem. So we're going from side to side very smoothly. Our deeper muscles, we can work kind of in a sharper fashion, but our fascias really don't like that. Our fascias like smooth. So they have time to react. And we're back and forward. And once more to the right, and then we're going to stay in the middle. And back, and then we're just going to look up the sky a little bit. Just a little bit, like we're looking at something, like a bird flying way out there. And we're just going to do a few backward bobbles. And coming back to neutral, and this time we're just going to glance to the left, and glance to the right, and to the left, and to the right. Just like we're saying, you. And we are going to come back to neutral. raise and lower our elbows. So again, if you can put your hands under there like a chicken. Otherwise, we're just gonna lift and lower our elbows. Think about your elbow driving the movement. Think about chickens flying. Great big flocks of chickens. And lowering our elbows to our sides. We're just gonna use our forearm, and that's gonna come up and down. Like we're lifting the box. I think that's a good idea. Let's practice that because we're gonna have some practical application to this. Bending your knees just very gently. Little knee bend, bottom, and as you come up, as you're folding your arms up, straighten your knees. It doesn't have to be all the way. Again, this is just a continuous pattern of movement. Our knees are something that frequently you either get injured or tend to have issues. So if we give them a good warm up for the day, if we get them moving, they're that much more prepared to do the work that they have to do. We want to make our bodies work for us and not against us. Okay, so let's add on a new one today as we come up. And then we're going to stretch our arms up and then back to our medium stance and all the way down. So folding our arms, reaching up, folding them back and going down. And try and keep that knee bend going. And try and make it one smooth movement going up and down. Okay, moving your wrists from side to side. Getting the blood flowing to all your limbs. And then forward and back. And then we're going to stretch out our fingers like a flying squirrel jumping. Close and fingers open and close. So I want our bodies to wake up from head to toe, to the ends of our toes, to the ends of our fingers. So I'd love to do some more weight shift with you guys, but we kind of run out of time. We have to get to the other stuff. So if you're okay with me moving the time up a little bit, and let me know in the comments because I want you all to be there. I want you to all be taking this first step in your journey, even if it just means turning on your device and watching. That is a first step. That's absolutely the way you want to go. Okay, so I'm just gonna bend our knees a little bit so we can swing a little bit. And we're just gonna swing like a bell from side to side. This doesn't have to be a big movement. But we're just going to kind of go up and down. And then coming up and bending again. And this time, I want you to shift your weight onto your left leg. And then shifting it over onto your right leg. And sometimes as you're strolling along, I want you to think about where your body weight is and what's pushing it. Just try and analyze like which muscle is, not even which muscle, which part of your body is doing the movement, what's leading, what's pushing, because that will just bring in a little more consciousness, and we talk about that a lot on this channel. And coming back up and going into knee bends. This time, they're going to be a little bit deeper. Just bending and straightening. Well, let's do it a little bit slower. Try and as you're coming up, think about pushing into the floor. Remember that your legs are ancient columns or tree trunks or something very, very sturdy. Think about pushing into the ground and beyond the ground. Like you're pushing into like a floor that's much lower than what it actually is. Going up and down. And since it's Friday, let's do a little more. Let's bend your left knee, and then your right knee, and then your left knee, and then your right knee. Again, just something to think about. What's our body's doing? We're shifting from leg to leg as we bend it. And I'm going to come up to the middle. And hands on your waist. And this time, let's get other side bend in. And this one's a little slower, a little bigger than the first one. See, there's a lot more I want to do, but it's the time thing. Gotta cut it short, so I'm hoping you guys can hop on a little bit earlier with me next week. Just let me know how you feel about that in the comments, so we have a little more time together. And let's do more. And coming back up to the middle. And we're gonna bend our knees again, but this time resting our hands here and letting our bodies go forward. And this time, you're gonna hang on to your legs here, and you're gonna try and straighten your knees a little bit in this position. This is actually going to be your future forward fold. So this is going to come from here, and then we're going to start taking it forwards towards the ground to get a little more flexibility in there, because we have to position our bodies first. And stretching is something that happens very, very slowly. You're doing it right. But it's something that will help us throughout our lives. I'm going to roll up here. All right, so stretching out our calves. Grab onto something here for balance. And let me start with the other foot today. Let's start with the other foot. And putting right foot, because for some reason, no matter which foot I'm starting on for the rest of it, I start with the left foot with the calf stretch. So I've got my right foot, my right leg stretched behind me, my weight's on the front, and I'm just kind of leaning into it, feeling the back of my calf. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to shift my weight to my back leg, and I'm going to bend it so I feel the stretch in a different place. You can bounce up and down a little bit, but make sure that movement is continuous. You don't want any sharp movements. Your fascia is your friend. You want it to like you. So coming back up. Ankle wiggles from side to side. Now I want you to take that foot, and I want you to kind of raise it up so you're on the ball of your foot, and just stretch it out a little. If you can raise it way up high, good. If not, just however much it goes up. I just want you to lean a tiny bit, because we're also slowly starting to stretch that out. Our feet do a lot of work for us, and we sometimes neglect them and just take them for granted. But we need to appreciate them and all they do for us. Switching legs, leaning into the right leg, and the left is behind us, although it doesn't really matter which leg you start on. Just try and be conscious that you want to switch it up a little bit so our brains are working on both sides. And coming up, and weight on the back foot, and bending down into that. So you get a different stretch in the lower Achilles. And coming back up, and your ankle wiggles. And jump right on after this once again, and have the intermediate routine. And look at it, because you will be there one day. So putting your foot up on the ball of your feet, and just pressing into that a little bit. Again, if you have a great big arch, some people do, some people don't, you can press way into it. But if you don't, just put your heel off the floor a little bit, and then into it. Okay, so I want you to plant your feet so the whole thing is on the ground, or at least your triangle, which is, so this is the front half of your triangle, and it goes to a point, which is your heel. Think about that triangle being on the floor, and we're going to take our fingers on our toes and try and fan them out. Now, if your toes especially, but maybe your fingers too, don't really feel that movement, I want you to imagine that movement, imagine it down to your toes fanning out, and visualize what that would feel like. Try and get those signals way down there to your toes. And that's the first step in actually doing the movement, is just trying it. Even if you don't actually move, you're still sending those signals, and that will start to activate that part of your body. And let's do one last one. I'd really like to do some more, but we'll have to see if we can move this up to a little bit earlier time. So just standing where you are, and I just want you to shift your weight a little bit forward so your weight comes off of your heels a little bit. I'm going to exaggerate, but it doesn't have to be this much. I want you to feel like you're leaning forward a little bit and relieving your heels a little bit. And then taking a deep breath up again, raising your arms up and bring them down. And stretch to the side. Try and touch a faraway wall with each hand. Way out there so you get the biggest hug possible. You deserve it. You deserve it for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you that we're doing this together. I'm so happy you're taking your first step in this fitness journey, and let me know about the time in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you after this or on Monday. Love to you, Flare Flies. Goodbye.